Hey there YouTube, it's me Tifo Wellness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this month's end of month bot haul, the bot haul for April of 2024. Right, so I've got 11 items to get through in this haul. It's not a particularly large one, but I've got some rather interesting stuff. And there's a few extra things that I want to show along with the stuff that I got, sort of like example items that I want to show. And yeah, so this video hopefully won't run out too long like some of my other videos do, but let's get cracking on things, shall we? And as per usual, I'll show these items in chronological order of arrival after I purchased them. So, start things off. The first item to arrive was on the 5th of April, and it was some more comics. Now, I only bought a couple of comics this month because I'm getting down to the end of my current, sort of Marvel G1 comic buyback sort of thing. I bought back the original 199 issues that I had as a kid, and then I decided to continue through the 200 series up to 299. I've only got like, is it 4 or 5 issues left to complete the 200 series. So this month I picked up a few from my usual seller that I've been buying from, Susanna Carter off eBay, and so I got these ones. I got, hang on, yeah, right. So I got 266. I got 282, 283, 284, and 289. So that's only 5 comics this month. I like to get 2 every calendar month. I bought a bunch of comics last month, and I decided just to get these few. Now, before I finish off with this, next month I will be buying the last couple of comics from the 200 series, and then it's a question of, do I continue into the 300 series? And Susanna Carter is like one of the few sellers on eBay who lists the majority of the 300 series comics I want or need to complete the Marvel G1 comic run from issue 1 to 332. Unfortunately, she's swinging the lead. She's asking way too much money for the 300 series comics. I mean, the majority of the 300 series comics, she's asking like 19.99, 20 plus quid each for them. And earlier today I went through all the comic issues that she had. Now, she's missing 3 issues, or she's out of stock of issue 322, 327 and 331. But all the others, the other 30 odd comics, if I was to buy them through her, it would cost me over 650 quid. And that's, I'm sorry, but that's just unacceptable. I've got the comics that I had as a kid. I decided to continue with the 200 series, but now I think I've got to draw a line at like the 300 series, because they're just too expensive. They were super rare because the Marvel G1 comic was tailing down towards the end, and there's fewer issues of the 300 series about than there were the previous issues, so they're quite rare, and as a result, they go for high-end collector's prices, but I'm just not prepared to continue. So next month I will buy the last couple of comics, and then that's it. I'm done with comics. I have been watching these YouTube videos where people have been going through these new Skybound Transformers comics, and they look really good, but I don't want to get back into modern comics. I mean, I got betrayed a couple of times with the IDW comic continuity. I got betrayed twice, where they finished the old continuity and then they lost the license completely. So twice I've been screwed over by IDW, and I decided I'm done with modern comics. So that's why I went back to buy up the original G1 comics. But this challenge of buying up all the Marvel G1 comics is coming to an end now. So I think I'll wind it up next month, and then that's it. That's me done with comics altogether. So those arrived on the 5th. Then it was on the Sunday the 7th, it was NEC Toy Fair. Yes, so that thing I like to do every year, NEC Toy Fair. It's the first NEC Toy Fair this year. Usually they used to have 4. They used to have like one in sort of February, and then one in sort of like April, May, and then one in September, and then one in December. But last year we only had 2 because the event organizer having a bit of trouble with the NEC venue So you know, they decided to only do 2 last year, but this year they've gone back to 3. Whether they'll go back to 4 events per year is doubtful. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, there's 3 this year. This was the first NEC Toy Fair of 2024. So I went to it. My mate Richard, my buddy from Richard in Coventry, he wasn't able to make it because he was at another event. So I went in and went round by myself. Wasn't massively packed for Transformers. I only saw a few bits that it was worth buying. But while I was walking round, usually I get into the event. I do sort of like I sort of zigzag up and down the aisles, working my way from front to back. And as I came in through the door and walking along the front row, I saw something non-Transformer related on one of the stalls on the front row. And I thought, oh, that looks cool. I'll have to keep that in mind. Anyway, so I carried on round. I zigzagged up and down. I cased the joint. I saw a few things that were sort of interesting, but I thought, oh no, I'm going to go back to the front and have a look at that other thing I saw and possibly make a play on it. Anyway, so I got back to the front, went to the store. There was a woman behind. I opened it up, looked inside. It looked to be complete and intact. I thought, wow, this is great. And then the woman said, it's got a price ticket on it of £22. And the woman said, oh, you can have it for 20 quid if you want it. And I thought about it and I thought, yeah, all right, hell yeah, I'll have this. Now, I had one of these as a kid. Tomy Big Loader. Yeah, the original sort of like 1977 original. Yeah, so it's pretty much all here. So yeah, you look inside. You know, it's got the instructions. It's got most of the balls, if not all of them, but most of the balls are there. But all the parts are there. So yeah, I decided to buy this. I had one of these as a kid, and when we had our original one, it was originally fitted down onto a wooden board by my dad. And yeah, I've still got the original wooden board that it was fitted to back in the 70s. Still got it. Now this board, as you can see, it's covered in paint stains and scratches and drill holes and all sorts, because I was using it as like a workbench for when I was doing my modelling with my RC car collection, and also when I've been customising Transformers, I'm using this thing as a base. If I need to do any soldering on any electrical equipment, then obviously I'll put my soldering iron out on this, you know, to give me a table to do my soldering on. But I've still got the original, and that big loader originally fitted to this board. Obviously, the toy was taken off, and we've just retained the board in our family, and I started using it for other things. So, still got the original board that it was fitted to back in the day. But yeah, Tomy Big Loader. Had one of these as a kid, absolutely loved it. The original one, it broke and we threw it away. But this one, now when I got home, I set it up on the board and I tried it, and it kind of worked. I mean, the tyres were a bit hard and cracked. It sort of struggled to go round, but when it went to climb the slope to do the dump at the end, it got halfway up the slope and then it started going. It started struggling and making a noise, and then it wouldn't run properly after that. And I took it apart, and one of the pinion gear on the motor had split in half and broken off. So I glued it back on, and then I had trouble with it. It was I was putting it back together, but I couldn't get it to work properly. I'd get drive, and then as soon as I reversed direction, it just lost all drive, and I couldn't get the drive back. I couldn't figure it out, and I tried many times to get it fixed. I had to take the pinion off and glue it back on, but I couldn't get the thing to work. So I sort of left it alone and disregarded it. But then I saw that obviously the tyres, you can get. So there's some guy on eBay who's doing like sort of like 3D printed replacement tyres. So I bought some replacement tyres for it, and when they arrived, I fitted them to the machine, and I had another close look at the mechanism inside the motor unit. And there's like a rotor drum, which is like it's got like the pulls on it, which the gear selector selects. And I looked at it and I thought, hang on a minute, that thing in back to front. So I swapped it round, and sure enough, it can fit in both forwards and backwards. So I swapped it round, put it back together, and it worked perfectly. So yeah, it does work again now. Put the aftermarket tyres on it, it goes round perfectly, climbs the hill, dumps the load. fully operational Tomy big loader, and it's like massive nostalgia for when I was a kid. You know, I had one of the original ones back in the day, and now I've got another one, and it only cost me 20 quid. Wow, plus a couple of extra quid to get those replacement tyres. But yeah, I've got it working. So in fact, I took a little video on my phone of it actually working. So here it is now. Yeah, so as you can see, it all works perfectly. So yeah, that's amazing. That was, in my opinion, that was the best thing I bought at the NEC Toy Fair this year. But it's not a Transformers related item, but I decided to throw it in here because it is a vintage toy at the end of the day. Right, so what else did I get at the NEC Toy Fair? Well, like I said, I had to go around the hall a couple of times after I bought the big loader, and then it was a bit of head scratching. What can I get? Because there wasn't anything that was like that stood out as something worth buying. There was a few dealers that were doing Transformers, but I had a wander around, and yeah, I went up to one stall, and again, it was on the front row. I think, was it Starbase 55? I don't know. Anyway, I was rooting around in the box, and I found a couple of figures. So I found this guy, Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Wheelie. Now the reason I got this is because he transforms into an RC monster truck. Because in Revenge of the Fallen, he's going around in Michaela's garage, and he's scooting around on the floor as a monster truck. And I like ready control cars. I've got some ready control car monster trucks in my collection upstairs, including a couple of blue ones, you know, that could, you know, be like an alt mode for this guy. So I wanted to get him. Also, Doctor Wu have done like a little mini version of this guy, and I'd like to get that because, you know, Doctor Wu figures are pretty cool, like mini versions of Transformers characters. So I'd like to get hold of the Doctor Wu Wheelie, but I thought I might as well get the original. Yeah, robot mode, it's shonky as all hell, isn't it? Transforming this thing is an absolute pain because when it's plugged together and it's alt mode, it's very difficult to prise apart, and you usually pop bits off when you're transforming it. It's not great. Articulation, I mean, it's got the stupid chicken legs on it with like these little stiletto sort of feet. It struggles to get it to stand up and pose. It's not much fun to play with, to be honest. But like I said, I bought it because of the alt mode. I bought it because I wanted it as an example for when I get the Doctor Wu one later on. Yeah, so that's the reasons why I bought it. But overall, it's not a great figure, to be honest. It's not super great. But I got him, so that was Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Wheelie. Then also in the same box on this particular stall, I found something else. Now this is a Last Night Legion Stinger, but this one it's an exclusive. It was in a I think it was a Target exclusive 2-pack that came with it came with Stinger and Slug, but the Slug was it was a repaint of Beast Wars Neo Gildart, and he was done up as, you know, in Slug colours in the purple. So this was part of. Now Stinger is a character that I was tempted to do character mold set collecting for, because I've got the Studio Series 1. I managed to get hold of the Takara, you know, sort of deluxe, which was like a repaint of the Concept Camaro Bumblebee. I managed to get hold of that, but they did a couple of like Legion class repaints of other Legion molds as Stinger, and they're kind of difficult to get, like, including this one. But I managed to find this one, and I bought it. It was only like a £5. So yeah, Stinger. Legion Stinger from Revenge of the Fallen, Target exclusive 2-pack figure. So yeah, I managed to get hold of that. And then I wandered around the hall some more, and Where did I get this one? Did I get this from Geekology? Can't remember. Anyway, so Beast Wars Tarantulas. Obviously, this is the original. Now, you know these Beast Wars anniversary reissues they did of the original Beast Wars toys lately, where they did Megatron and they did Optimus Primal and they did who else did they do? They did a bunch of them. Anyway, they teased or they hinted that they was going to do a reissue of the original Beast Wars Tarantulas, but it was going to have like almost like a premium paint job on it to make it look more screen accurate. Unfortunately, that never came about. It never actually got released, and I was tempted to buy it had they done it, but they didn't. So I thought, well, I might as well get hold of an original Tarantulas. So there was this guy who was selling the Beast Wars Tarantulas, and I decided, sod it, I'll get it. It's an original one. It's fairly tight. It's not super loose because obviously these figures are loaded with ball joints. He's got his weapon that plugs into his back, so he's all complete. Yeah, he's all right. I mean, I've got the Kingdom one, and he's an amazing figure. It really looks super screen accurate. You know, absolutely love him. But decided to get the original. This toy isn't perfect. It's got a few issues, and they remolded it as Black Arachnia as well. It's like, come on. I mean, look at that. Those chest bumps, you know. But yeah, it's all right. It's okay. I kind of wanted this figure. This guy was selling it at a reasonable price. Would have preferred it if they'd have done the Classics Beast Wars reissue figure, but they didn't. So I got hold of an original one and managed to pick that up at one of the sellers to the NEC Toy Fair. Right, so the final thing I got at the NEC Toy Fair. Now I was keeping it in mind. I didn't want to. I took my usual £100 to the NEC Toy Fair, and I didn't want to spend all of it because of the way my budget was working out that month, or this month rather. I didn't want to spend too much money, and there was a figure a Studio Series figure that I wanted to buy after spending my money at the NEC Toy Fair. So with that in mind, I didn't want to blow my whole budget, and so I was walking around, and then I saw this guy. Energon Wheeljack, or was it Armada? No, Armada Wheeljack and Windshear. So yeah, when is Wheeljack not a Wheeljack when he's in a sideswipe mould? It's like, yeah. So this is Wheeljack, strangely enough, and then you got the Energon one, which was Wheeljack wasn't Wheeljack again, and it's like Wheeljack. He's a weird character. I mean. He isn't. I mean, there's been times where they've done versions of his character and it's in a totally different mold, which looks or bears no resemblance to the G1 original. You know what I mean? The Rise of the Beast Wheeljack is a prime example of that. So yeah. Now, obviously, you've got that Generations 2 pack recently, which came with Rodimus Unicronus, and it came with Sideswipe, but it was Sideswipe, not Wheeljack, but it was in this mould with slightly different colour. Well, this style of mould and slightly different colours. It was a Sideswipe version, but it had the slash across the front. Yeah, so it's a weird one. But I mean, this figure on its own it's not bad. It's yellowed in a few places, mostly on the arms. It's got some loose jointage and some joints are overly tight, so transforming it is a little scary. He's a bit back heavy with his Minicon gimmick. He does have the missiles. One of them shoots okay. The other one doesn't because the spring's broken. So yeah, he's got the missiles. Yeah, so he's all right. Bit of a weird mould the way it works. He's a bit back heavy, tends to fall over backwards because of the weight, and his hips only go backwards and forwards. I wish he'd had universal hips, but he doesn't. Has got thigh swivels, kind of. So yeah, which is weird. So yeah, got hold of him, and of course came with his Minicon partner Windshear. Again, got a Generations retool of this, so that's pretty cool. It's a neat little Minicon, turned into a stealth jet. It's pretty cool. I like him. He's all right. So yeah, I managed to pick this up. Was it 45 quid I paid for this, or something like that? Anyway, so I saw this and I thought, yeah, this is worth a punt. So I bought that, and that was the last figure I bought at the NEC Toy Fair. But coming out of the NEC Toy Fair, oh, my things fell off. Yeah, so that was the NEC Toy Fair done. Coming out of the NEC Toy Fair, I walked across the hall in the entrance hall and sat down on one of the benches opposite, and then I went straight onto eBay. Not eBay, I went onto the internet, and then I went onto Comics and Cocktails and placed an order on a Studio Series figure that I really wanted to get, which you'll see more on later. So yeah, because that was what I was trying to save money at the NEC Toy Fair so that I could afford to buy this other figure, which I did. But yeah, so coming out of the NEC Toy Fair, I did that, and that was that. So that was Sunday the 7th. Then moving on to Monday the 8th, my first Korean figure arrived. Done a review on it and an unboxing. Hello Carbot Life X. So this is from the latest season of the Hello Carbot show, or Hello Carbot X. It's one of the new molds, because they have reissued a lot of the older molds for this series, but this is one of the new molds. Life X, he turns into like a tanker truck. It's pretty cool. It's got unusual aesthetic. He does have he does convert into combiner parts for Pentastorm X. So he turns into like a gun and I don't know what the other thing is, and like a claw thing for Pentastorm X. He comes with this thing that I assume is a spray gun. It kind of looks like a spray gun rather than like a normal sort of weapon. He's all right. He's okay. Reasonably posable for a Korean transforming toy. He's all right. It's got these unsightly holes in his legs which aren't on the artwork, but they're for plugging this thing in alt mode. Does have weapon storage in alt mode, so that's good. He's all right. He's okay. Got hold of him. Did a review on him. He's not bad. So got hold of him. Then on the 11th, I had a couple of packages arrive. First of all, now this one's kind of interesting. Going back to, was it last month? I placed an order on AliExpress for a 52 Toys figure. I saw it and thought, hell yeah, I've got to get one of those. And I picked a seller, bought the item, and then I got that thing when you place an order on AliExpress, you get that, yeah, your order's been placed, we're going to give the seller so many days to dispatch it. The days rolled on, and then towards the end of that window, I got contacted by the seller, and he was saying, oh, sorry, I can't ship your item out just yet. I'm waiting for stock to come in. Can you wait a few more days? And they extended the dispatch window, saying that they didn't have the stock. So I waited, and then it got towards the end of it was coming towards the end of the extended window, and I went on to the AliExpress to check up to see what was going on, and then I had another message from the seller, and the seller basically said, "I'm sorry, but I haven't got the item in stock yet. Are you prepared to wait until, what was it? I think it was something like the first week in July or something like that. They were asking me to wait, and I'm thinking, well, that's what, 2 to 3 months. What's going on? And I got really, I was getting really annoyed about this, because this seller kept swinging the lead. He kept, pushing the dispatch date back and kept palming me off or fobbing me off with, excuses as to why he couldn't ship it. And then I started looking on AliExpress for this figure from other sellers, and there were other sellers that had it in stock and had already shipped it. So what I did was I bought a second one from a different seller, and then I went back and then I cancelled the original one and gave my reasons. Look, I said, you haven't got it in stock. You're basically doing a pre-order, but he didn't list it as a pre-order, but he was basically doing a pre-order and he wasn't listing it as such, so I wasn't very happy. So I went on and bought it from another seller. Turns out this other seller was the original manufacturer for this particular figure, 52 Toys. Yeah, so I bought it from the 52 Toys official AliExpress account, and it's this guy. 52 Toys Infinity Box IB03 Golden Dragon. Now, this is a repaint of this thing. The 52 Toys Mega Box Chinese Dragon. So, yeah. So I've got I've got my first repaint of a 52 Toys mould. Now, the original toy, I got it a couple of years back. I absolutely adore this thing. You know, it's come in this box. You know, it's a mega box, and absolutely amazing figure. It turns into a cube-ish, and then it has like the little box charger. You slot it in. Love the colours on this thing, and this was one of the best bots I got. Well, it was the best bot I got in that particular month, and it was one of the best bots I got in that particular year. Now, when I saw that they was doing this golden variant, I assume this is respect or celebration to the Chinese New Year of the Dragon, which happened back in February, because they went over and above with the packaging on this thing. For start off, because I ordered it from the 52 Toys account, it came in this glossy collector's bag with the gold rope on it. And then you get the packaging. So you've got the packaging, and then you open it up. Bearing in mind the original figure came in this box, and this one came in this box. Come on. So you know you got your instructions on a full glossy colour manual. Then you've got like the collector's card and all that stuff, and then you've got the packaging. It came with a transparent red and gold box charger, which sort of fits in there, and it came with a collector's coin. So yeah, they went all out with the packaging on this thing. They really did, and I'm glad that I reordered it from this other seller. And also in the gold, it just looks so good in the gold. I absolutely love the way this gold looks. Now the question is, as the original mould that I bought, the original Chinese Dragon was a shoe-in for top bot of the month, and it was the top bot of the month, and it's one of the top bots of the year. Is it a case of lightning striking twice on this guy? Not really. I like this thing, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't for, it's a repaint of a mould I've already got, and I admit I've got a taste for repaints now, and this thing just looks so good in the gold. It just looks awesome. But because it's a mould I've already got, I probably don't like it quite as much as the original one, because the original one I've got such nostalgic feelings for it. This one, as great as it is, I don't like it quite as much as the original one. So even though this is a really, really cool figure, and it transforms into the box, it does everything what the original one, it came with that amazing packaging, it's still, it's still not quite top bot material, but don't get me wrong, this is still an amazing figure, and I really like it, and love that I managed to get it, even though I had a bit of bother getting one out of one of the other AliExpress seller. So that arrived on the 11th, and then the next item, which arrived on the same day, and then this is that item that I bought online when I came out of the NEC Toy Fair. I went on to Comics and Cocktails website, placed an order for this figure, and it arrived on the 11th. Studio Series 109. A Bumblebee movie concept art Megatron. Now, I like Megatron. As you can see in my detolf here, I've got all the gun formers basically, and I've got more Megatrons down here, and I've got loads of Megatrons. In fact, I'll go so far as to say that Megatron is quite possibly the most numerous character in my collection, bar none. I've got more Megatron molds than any other character. So, the Studio Series 109, concept art Megatron. It's a concept of what Megatron might have looked like if he'd have been in that sequence at the beginning of the Bumblebee movie, but he got cut out. yeah, so they made a toy of it. He looks amazing. He looks awesome. The molded detail on this thing is exquisite. I mean, he's very clean as well. You know, he's hardly got any hollowness. He looks really, really good. He's got nice tight joints. He's heavy. Not massively tall for a leader class, but you know, he's pretty big for modern leader class, you know, sort of size. Bearing in mind they've scaled down the leader class over the last number of years, but he's still pretty big and he's chunky. Got nice tight joints. Transformation's a bit involved. I did that thing where I tried to transform it without the instructions, but I was using the box art pictures for reference, and I managed to get him into both of his alt modes, the plane mode and the tank mode. And because he's got a multitude of joints on him, you can get a couple of fan modes out of him. And I know there's somebody who's worked out a way to get a kind of a gun mode out of this thing, which is pretty cool, actually. I haven't tried that myself, but it's decently posable. But I mean, it's just the design on this thing, all the molded mechanical detail they've packed into this mold. It just looks great. He's really, really cool, and I like Megatron. He's an awesome figure. He's amazing. So I managed to get hold of him. So that Studio Series concept art Megatron that I bought coming out of the NEC Toy Fair. So he was pretty cool. Right, so next, the next thing that arrived was my next Korean figure. Metal Cardbot, Buffalo Crush. So yeah, I managed to get hold of him. I'm collecting all the characters, all the main characters from the Metal Carbot toy line. I've only got 3 more to go. This is he's figure number, was it 8 or was it 9? Anyway, so yeah, I've got him. He's all right. He's just a bit small. I mean, I'm a bit disappointed on how big this guy is. I expected him to be bigger, but he's really, really small. I mean, when you look at him compared to some of the other figures in the line, he should be the same size as Mega Trucker, but he's not. He's the same size as he's slightly bigger than Blue Cop, which is disappointing. I mean, he should have been, he should have been like bigger rather than smaller. I'm disappointed at the size. He's a decent figure otherwise. He's got these amazing, sort of hot pink and lime green colours. It's got a lot of transparent plastic on it, which looks really cool. Fairly straightforward transformation. He turns into a monster truck. His character in the show is a really good character. He's part of this group of bad guys that come in towards the end of the season, and he's like the muscle of the group, and he's loyal to Black Hook, who's the leader of this little band of bad guys. He's also very emotional as well. He's quite an emotional character, and I really like his character in the show. But this toy, I just wish it was bigger. I wish it was a little bit bigger. It's not quite big enough. It's decent enough as it is, but I would have liked it to have been a bit bigger. And also, the review that went up a couple of days ago, the viewing figures on it, absolutely dog shit. I mean, I've been saying I'm thinking of quitting YouTube, and tomorrow I'm gonna. I'll talk about this at the end of the video. But yeah, I'm very disappointed at the views that this review got, and it's not looking good for me continuing to do YouTube. Let's put it that way. But anyway. He's all right. He's okay. I would have preferred him to be bigger, but he's a decent figure in himself. So yeah, got hold of him. And then it was like towards the end of the month, I had a little bit of budget left over, and I was thinking, what can I buy? My packages had come in, so I've done my unboxing series, and I thought, what's left? So yeah, I decided to go over to Coventry on the 18th because obviously there's a couple of Legacy United Wave 2 figures that are now appearing in the shops. So on the 18th, which was it was a Thursday, because I was off work that particular day. So I went over to Coventry, went over to Smith's, and picked up a couple of figures. The first figure I picked up was this guy, Legacy United leader class G1 triple changer Sandstorm. So I wanted to get hold of this guy, so I got hold of him. And the reason I got hold of him is because I've got the G1 and I absolutely love the G1 figure. I absolutely love this figure. It looks amazing, mainly because the buggy mode just looks so damn good. I love the buggy mode on this, mainly because it bears a striking resemblance to this thing. My Kyosho Tomahawk. Because if you look, if I get that lined up, you look at you look at the proportions, like the proportions on the side pods, the position and angle of the cockpit. You know, it just looks like this, or this looks like that. You know, they look very, very similar. And I absolutely adore the Kyosho Tomahawk. Out of all the cars in my RC car collection, this is probably my favourite, or one of my favourite cars in my collection. I absolutely love the aesthetic on this. It looks super, super cool. It's an awesome figure. Well, it's an awesome car. And this, in my opinion, looks a lot like this. However, this figure, in my opinion, has got the same issues or faults as all the other G1-esque Sandstorm figures that have come out since the G1, most notably the third-party ones. So many times have they done, the robot mode looks great, the helicopter mode looks amazing, and then they come to the buggy mode and it looks like arse. It looks awful. It looks terrible. And it's like the Unique Toys one, the Mechanic Studios one. Who else has done one? I think there's 3 third-party ones that they all. No, they don't work. Now this one, the buggy mode on this one, again, doesn't quite work. The helicopter mode looks amazing. The robot mode looks good, but the buggy mode, in my opinion, it doesn't look like this, or it doesn't look enough like this to be a home run. So I'm kind of disappointed that the buggy mode again is. It's disappointing that they didn't put more effort into the buggy mode to make it look more like, the G1 original. The G1 original, in my opinion, is where it's at. I mean, out of all the G1 style Sandstorms that there is, this was the only one that nails the buggy mode totally. This one doesn't, and so do none of the third party offerings. So yeah, I would love to pick up, get a beta Sandstorm and then paint it up, do a customising job on it to look like a Kyosho Tomahawk. I would love to do that in the future. But in the meantime, this figure is all right. I mean, yeah, okay, they made it a leader class, and you put him next to Megatron. He's not quite up to Megatron's size, but because he's a triple changer, he's got all those excess of joints in him, and I suppose that's the reason. That's where all the budget went. And also, he comes with these accessories. He comes with this cage and this winch that he can use in his helicopter mode. It does plug on the back of the alt mode, his helicopter mode or his buggy mode. But he's got that. So they threw those extras in. He's got all his guns and stuff. But the robot mode looks okay. The helicopter mode looks great. The buggy mode, no. It doesn't quite work for me because I'm a bit of a super snob when it comes to off-road vehicles, and the Kyosho Tomahawk is where it's at, and this thing doesn't do that. Whereas the G1 figure does. So, yeah, I got hold of this guy. I'm a little disappointed in it because of that reasons. It's an okay figure overall. Shame they made it a leader class, but then I expect it because of the parts count and the engineering on it. They had to stretch it out, and they're supposed to be doing a Springer as a leader class as well. Like a Studio Series 86 Springer is on the way. That's going to be like a a updated, upscaled version of the what was it, the Earthrise one that came out. But anyway, we've got him. And then the final bot I got this month, Gears. Legacy United Deluxe Gears, G1 Universe Gears. Now, this figure, robot mode, looks awesome. He's super poseable. He's got a little bit of a backpack going on, but he's a brilliant figure. Great transformation, awesome robot mode. Like him a lot. When he comes in the packaging, come on. When it comes in the packaging, it's like that. The chest piece is missing, and when I went into Smith's and I was looking on the shelf for this guy, there was 3 copies of this figure on the shelf. There was one on the hook, and there was 2 sort of lying down on top of the boxes on the lower shelf. And I looked at them and thought, well, where's his chest piece? Where's his chest piece? And then I saw there was one of those plastic toy bands across the front of his chest, and I thought, has somebody nicked the chest piece? Has somebody pinched it? Because these sort of like these plastic-free packaging deals that they do, where they have like the open window so you can see the figure. It's an open invitation for somebody to go in and like rip bits off if they're not pinned on, if they're like pegged on. And I've seen instances in the past where you've seen a figure and somebody's ripped the head off, and the figure's missing its head, but it was missing the chest piece. So I thought, and they were all the same. They were all missing the chest piece. I thought, has somebody been round and pinched all the chest pieces? So anyway, I went to the front of the store, went on my mobile, went onto eBay, looked at Toys R Us's review on the figure. I flicked through his review, and sure enough, he said, "Oh, make sure when you get this figure, it's missing the chest piece, but it's wrapped in the package, in the paper wrap in the back of the package." So sure enough, it was in the paper wrap, the accessories wrap in the back. So yeah, he does come with a chest piece. It's just not on the figure in the box when you buy it. And yet when they showed you the promotional pictures of the box, they showed him with the chest piece on. So yeah, that's where the confusion comes from. But anyway, yeah, so that's a little bit of a thing with Legacy United Gears. You gotta, if he's missing his chest piece, don't worry, it should be in the accessories wrap inside the pack. Yeah, so there's that. The alt mode. This guy, he's got the GMC top kick cab front, like movie Ironhide. Very, very similar front end to movie, Bayverse movie Ironhide's alt mode, the GMC top kick. I don't like that, not for Gears. And also his alt mode, his vehicle mode, is very bumpy on the sides because of all the hinges and things. He looks a bit lumpy in alt mode, and I'm not a huge fan of his alt mode. But the robot mode is where it's at. The robot mode is really, really good. He's grown on me since I got him. I had my reservations with the alt mode, the way the alt mode looks, but robot mode looks good. Very, very poseable. He's a decent figure. And yeah, so I kind of like him now. So that's my haul for this month. Not a massive haul, quite interesting. Got some bits and pieces. Went to the NEC Toy Fair, ordered a few bits. Actually went on a mini toy hunt and bought those Legacy United figures at the end. But anyway, we're at the end of the video, and it's the first and worst, where I picked the best and the worst thing that I got. Now, a bit of a challenge this month. There was nothing that really stood out in either camp. There's a couple of potential candidates for both, but I think I've got it. First and worst. So first, Studio Series Megatron. It's Megatron. He's a really cool looking dude with this Cybertronian sort of mode from the Bumblebee movie. I love the aesthetic on him. yeah, his transformation's a bit fiddly. Yeah, his alt modes are a what the hell's that, you know? But the robot mode is really, really cool. He looks great, and I'm glad they made this thing, you know. And then the worst, yeah, this thing. It's a pain to transform. It's really, really awkward and difficult to transform because it pegs together so well. The robot mode looks strange. He struggles to stand up with these weird legs. So yeah, the combination of factors. I don't hate this thing per se. I mean, the reason I bought it was because I wanted it as an example of the original mould when I get the Doctor Wu one down the line. Also, you know, his alt mode is a RC monster truck, so yeah, I bought it for that. But messing with him, he's just a pain to transform and pose. So they're the main reasons why I decided to make him the worst bot that I got this month. So that's it. Right, before I go, just want to say a few words. Obviously, I did that review for this guy a couple of days ago, and it's very poor viewing figures. And that's part of the reason why I was thinking about quitting YouTube this month. So I've decided now next month is going to be an unusual month, because next month is or will be the 10th anniversary of me becoming a adult Transformers collector, and the 10th anniversary of me becoming a Transformers YouTuber. So my 10th anniversary of my adult, you know, collecting, that was that'll be the 18th of May, and my my YouTube anniversary, my 10th anniversary of me becoming a YouTuber, will be on the 26th. Now, tomorrow I will be putting up a community, YouTube community poll on my channel that will run for 26 days up until the 10th anniversary of this channel on the 26th. And it'll be very, very simple. It will be, should I quit YouTube, yes or no? So I'm putting it out there. I'm going to let the viewers decide whether I continue YouTube or not, or whether I quit. I think that's the best way to do it, because I'm very much undecided. Part of me wants to do it, other part of me wants to stick it out, you know, carry on. And but I will give other people the opportunity to say yay or nay, and this will be a golden opportunity for those haters out there, because I've got a bunch of people who don't like me, who hate me for things I've done in the past. You know, this will be their golden opportunity to do me in, you know, finish me off, you know, get rid of me. So they just get all their friends to vote on the poll and for yes you should quit. You know, it could happen that way. But I'm just hoping that, well, it'll be a chance for my viewers, my subscribers to tell me whether they think I should carry on or not. So that will be something that will be popping up tomorrow. So check it out, why don't you, and put a vote on it, what you want me to do. So that's been my haul for this month. Like I said, an interesting haul. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I've been TFI Wilderness. I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.